one's here yet. This is not what I wanted to be playing, but it's 9 o'clock. Could not get the thing to work. Honestly, sometimes after I finish these things, I just kind of want to not do it anymore. Alright, so we're here doing this. This wasn't what I wanted to play, but, not that I don't want to play this, but you probably noticed we've not been playing really any PS5 4 games lately, because I just cannot figure out how to get our PS5 working again. It's dumb, because we did it for a while. We were playing a lot of things on the PS4, games. We did, like, Detroit and stuff like that, but for some reason, after I set up the whole thing to work for the Wii, and after we had to fight to get the Wii to work, I've been able to get the Switch to work, but I've not been able to get the PS5 to work. So I've waited like 40 minutes for our game to download that we were going to play on the PS5, which I'll just leave as a mystery for now, because I'd still like to play it at some point, but, you know, we're not playing it now, so it doesn't bother mentioning it, but waited like 40 minutes for it to download, because I love the fact that PS5 games... it's not the PS5 itself, it's a problem. It's the developers go and make it like, here, put the game on here, and then wait X number of minutes for it to be playable. And it's not the worst, but I'm like, why do you have to do that before you play the game? Why is it necessary? Let me move this so I can see my face here. We'll move this to the middle once Madeline's here, but... There we go. So, it's just frustrating. It's why it's so hard to play games some weeks, because unless we place things that are on the same console, the moment we pull the HDMI cord out, there's a high chance that it might just all stop working. Alright, we see people in this chat. Hey guys, glad to see you. Might be a silly question, but did you disable the HDCP on the PS4, PS5? Can't stream if it's enabled. I don't know. Maybe. Honestly, I'm just feeling sad and defeated over this, so I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess we'll just play this game for a little while. At least till Madeline gets here. Usually she'll go and mess around with it and get it fixed. Maybe we'll try again Thursday. Or maybe, Friday. I don't know. I just feel that, like, starting at, now we are at 9:30, I like to go to bed at 10. I'm willing to stay up an extra hour or so when we're streaming. Because, you know, if I'm having fun, I'm willing to do things with it. But starting this late always puts me in a low spirits, because I'm just like, man, now I'm gonna have to be able to play, like, what, an hour? That's not fair, you guys. We're streaming, you know? Like, I like to give... Streams tend to last, like, you know, when you're watching a streamer or something like that, it usually tends to last, like, 2 hours or so. I think 2 hours is fair. So I hate coming on and then being like, okay, we're gonna play for, what, an hour, and then we're gonna leave. Especially with some of you who are in different time zones. You know, like, that's not a lot. And so I like starting earlier than that. Admittedly, we could have gotten in here earlier than that. Me and Matt were enjoying dinner. Had the house to ourselves pretty much tonight, which was nice. Man, just love the fade out effect on that thing. But, So we were just kind of enjoying that. I'm like, okay, let me just go up and just press things and get started, and it'll be fine. And then I just could not get the PS5 to work. I'll probably try your thing later, Ixie. I appreciate the help. It probably might be... That might be exactly our problem, honestly. These little pink ghosts are cute. Look at them go. Not sure where these guys come from. They're cute. Not sure if there's anything to catching these little... Okay, I know... I always forget to do that from the side. So many ways to get hurt in this game. Oh, I can't talk to him for... Okay, fine. So, I... Honestly, Ixie... Okay, you guys need to stop. The thing I was talking about when I was talking about controls originally in the chat was... is the fact that you have to use, like... It's not very precise using the 2 sticks on this. Okay. That guy's just annoying me. Come on. Or, okay. I was trying to get the heart, but whatever. And now it's gone. Alright, fine. So, realistically, what you said actually might be the exact thing I need to do to fix it. I just don't feel like doing it now. So let's see our little cutscene here. Okay, this guy. Just... That guy is annoying. We got random keys, so good for that. Alright, sounds good. Funny you can light up a well. Now the well's not haunted, woo! I don't know what these little pink ones are. They're cute though. I'd take a plushie of that. Oh, we got a letter there. It's just like all the little ambient little ghosts can hurt you too. Get my monies here. So, okay. Are you going to talk to me now? Okay, save. So, yeah. It's just also the thing, if I belabor it for another moment here, it's usually the way to fix things is usually something as simple as just like press a button, it'll change, and then it'll be all fixed. And so like when you're doing that after like you've been messing with it for half an hour, you're almost kind of like, why bother at this point? Because you're like, is it really that easy? And I've just been messing around with it. That's the problem with the fact that like streaming is that I'm like, I feel like it's so much harder nowadays. It's like you need so much more knowledge. It's not as easy just to turn on the game and you play it, you know? Which in the olden days of YouTube, they certainly make it look that way. Which, yeah, you know, you're not seeing all the stuff behind the door, but that's just the way it is. No, I've been, it's horrible too because I told Madeline earlier today, I've just had the ascension of, like, brain zoomies. Like, you know how a dog will do, like, zoomies whenever they're super excited, and then you just kind of go around in circles and stuff like that? Okay. Okay, the depth perception on this is not great. Come on. Come on. Put it down. This one I always remember being an annoying boss just because it's not easy to... The depth... Come on. Get over there. It's not very easy to, like, maneuver this room. I don't know why I lose them sometimes like that. Like, they just burst away from me. I'm not sure that's, like, it's set to do it. Because I know, like, there's definitely a way you can do it where you can, like, get it in, like, one go. One. Yeah. Never liked that boss, just because of the fact that it's hard to navigate this room. And also because you can whack yourself with the punching bags coming back, and So essentially, sometimes it's hard to do this and talk at the same time. So that's why, like, sometimes I do better when Madeline's, gaming and I'm not, but I don't think she's arrived yet. So, like, I've had the equivalent of, like, what I call, like, brain zoomies, where essentially, like, my brain's moving 100 miles an hour, and it means I'm trying to focus on, like, I'm in a stage where I'm, like, and I'll tell us actually what led up to that in a minute, but essentially means that, like, I want to go and tell, like, someone about all my, like, my hyperfixations, my special interests. Like, I want to talk about that for, like, hours right now. Okay, where are you? Beauregard, of course. And yeah, I figured it's next. It's went into Melody's room. Alright. Time to go backtrack. Alright, let's go get that boo. Because I'll forget it's there otherwise. So, like, it means that when I'm like that, I'm like, I feel like I could have woken up in the morning and been like, okay, here's the things I'm going to do today. I have some plans. But when you kind of get like that, your brain's like, no, you absolutely have to indulge in this thing right now. Otherwise, you're going to go insane. It's kind of like the interesting midpoint between, like, you have, I would say between, like, autism and ADHD is, like, ADHD gives you the hyper, like, fixation thing. Come on. There we go. Gotcha. Do not go running into the other room after I just chased you in here. Alright. So, and, thanks. So, essentially that I'll have, like, you know, ADHD sort of, like, energy hyperfixation of thing, but it will be, like, I also feel like I need to, like, indulge in my, like, special interests and stuff like that. So what started this morning is, me and Mallory, we've talked about before. So I originally came on being like, okay, I got some ideas. I have, like, you saw last time we were here. We had a big order I have to do, so I have to start making them, which I've started to. There's one I can't make yet because I need to get more of the color in that I have. Don't have enough of a bright purple I need. Okay, where's the new key go to? Okay, this just goes down here. Alright. It's fine. But that doesn't really do anything for me because I already have access to that hallway. So we're just going to go up the stairs here and see what happens. Although I suppose... Well, let's do this first. Do this first. Okay, can you open the door? Thank you. Oh. Come on. Come on. I totally forgot that this place can sometimes have these upside down pads. That is. Bojangles. That makes me think of Bojangles. Come on. Okay. I got stuck on the tablecloth, so I couldn't pull away. That's the only thing I have to say that I'm like, we were discussing, as I tangent off my tangent, as I was discussing with Dean in the chat before, this is a really well-constructed game. The biggest thing is that, like I said, it has old game controls. So it means that, like, trying to manipulate the two sticks is not is very troublesome, because... Yay, ice. Yay, ice. Cool. Give me that ice. Thank you. Okay, there's another boon here. Okay, yeah, I figured it was just... Because we already got the one out here. So, it starts at... So me and Madeline, we go and have this game we play in Pokemon Masters. We talk about it from time to time. They have a new event. So it's in the room next to me. Let me see if I can access that yet. Again, the fact that you have to aim at the ceiling is what makes these guys so annoying. Is that I have to aim at the ceiling or I have to aim at the floor. Actually, the fact that they have ghost mice is just, like, funny. And I love the fact that when I run over them, I always lose my health. But, okay, and here's the granny. Yes, that is me getting run over by a yarn ball. Okay. This is another boss fight I remember being annoying because you can get knocked over by these yarn balls. Like, they will just knock you over. I'm like, these are yarn balls. They can't be that, like, damaging. Okay, did I lose it? Yeah, I think from a design perspective, this game is really great. Just sometimes manipulating the C stick is really killing me sometimes. Again, watch me as I get knocked back by this yarn ball. This boss fight's annoying. Not for the reasons it should be. Yes, she did just shoot me with laser eyes. I at least don't lose health while I'm walking over these yarn balls. That would make this even more annoying. Come on. Come on. Anyway, so me and Melanie playing Pokemon Masters, right? So I come on being like, I'm gonna probably work on some crochet stuff. I got some Freddies I need to make. You know, I'm like, I'll look at this. And so I go to look, like, I log in the morning. Downstairs, alright. I log in the morning, and I go to turn on my Pokemon Cafe, because I do that at a certain time of day. Limber. Very nice. Come on. Okay, where's the other one? The one I chased in from the other room. Where's that one at? Come on. Like, don't you dare try to escape out the room after I just did that. Alright. There we go. It's already bad enough that he escaped on 3 HP. I'm like, don't do that again. Don't you dare do that again. Anyway, so we're going to I'm going to log in Pokemon Cafe, because that's what I do in the morning, because I have to, you know, I get a thing. Who are you? Okay, that's weird. I also love that I got damaged by a ball. Weirdest things there just... Also, this one is one I play, so it looks like a lady. You pull it back, it's actually like this. Come on. Come on. Why? Come on. Why are you not sucking? Okay. Alright. Never gonna get through the story. They have to keep pausing for boss fights. Anyway, so we're playing Pokemon. So I'm doing, and I go to look on Pokemon Masters, which, you know, remind for those who don't know, Pokemon Masters is the game we play where it has like all the characters from the Pokemon like universe, so all the characters from the different games, and you do like 3-on-3 battles, and they also have like alternate suits, and like, you know, the reason we like the game the most is because it goes and like does some stuff after the games and some fun stuff around like characters that, you know, like the kind of the reason like the Fire Emblem game was originally was really fun as a gacha is like characters who haven't met in the games can meet in this mobile game. So our favorite characters in that one are the which I've brought up before. Oh, just go figure. Okay, where's the water one? Give me the water one. Come on. I don't know why Fire One's hiding in the toilet, but whatever. You do you, bro. I will take a heart, though. Could use one of those. Nice. Gotta get that money. Anyway, so... so going into that, I just see on the icon, I see just, like, the faces of, like, essentially my favorite, like, combat characters in that game, which are the subway bosses. They're battle facility people, but essentially for anyone who's not familiar with them, they're from Gen 5, the Unova games, which is probably where a lot of people actually either stopped or started Pokemon, ironically enough, because of how polarizing Unova is. Okay, I have a key on the bottom floor, and I have a key on... this floor. So let's go do the one on the bottom floor, because I need to go visit the lady anyway to go and show her Mario's letter. So they have the subway bosses are like, they're twins, they're in black and white uniforms, obviously because they're from the game Black and White, and like they're battle facility people, but the whole thing is that they are train conductors, so if they run in like the subway in Unova. And so they're, you know, train obsessed and all like that. So, obviously, I really like them a lot. We're definitely my favorite characters from that region. Funny enough, because I hadn't played Unova for so long, I actually forgot about them for the longest time. I got wrecked by them too, because they can be very difficult to face. The battle facility people in Pokemon are like, you have like the gym leaders, the Elite Four, and then you have the battle facilities, which are like, you know, the rest of the game are like is easy. Is, you know, you just do your type magic, you do your stuff, you're fine. The battle facilities in any particular game are always like, Yeah, these are the ones which are going to be used like actual competitive teams. They're going to be very difficult to fight. So they're usually like the strongest characters in like the whole region, arguably speaking. I got Mario's letter. Alright, so we visited her. We have to give all those items to her so that she, um... as long as I'm over here, I'm gonna go get that big heart from the baby's room because I'm running a bit low on health here. So, anyway, so the point is that I really like the subway bosses. Like a whole lot. And anyone who, plays in my D&D stream knows I made essentially like a lot of, I made some. Oh, I actually have the key for that door. I should check that out after I heal. But, I made like a full like, campaign with essentially characters based off of them. With, train conductors with a black and white color scheme. And it was supposed to be a minor thing in my D&D campaign. And then it turned into like the main like through line, plot line, recurring NPCs sort of vibes. And became so much more than it was. But point is, like trains, love the train people. I like the subway bosses a lot. They're pretty awesome. So I go in and just see their icons on the Pokemon Masters game, and then I'm going in and realize like so every character like can get alternate outfits besides their base forms. In their base forms, they're very useful, and they had like a Alice in Wonderland sort of like themed outfit as well, which I like those. Got those. They were very good. But then they show that every character can get these things called Signa suits, which essentially are them paired up with like their ideal partner Pokemon, and they have like they'll have special outfits that usually commemorate some special growth that they've gone through that they can connect to their Pokemon and get like power that they couldn't unlock before. So this is the twins bed, I remember. I think those blue ones are supposed to be something special. I don't remember ways that activates this one's fight. There it is. Also, that's the other thing I have to like about this. I like the fact that the ghosts in this game, as opposed to something like, Luigi 3, where they're all just plainly antagonistic. I like the fact that the ghosts in this one have like a little story behind them. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to guess on this. Oh, he hid in that one again. I'm like, he's surely not going to hide in the same box twice. Apparently he is. I'm sure there's some sort of order to how you figure out how to get them both, or... Nope, open the box. Oh, cool. This one's just annoying because of... You have to do it while dodging the other one. Okay, that explosion was already done. That I should have not been able to die there. Come on. Okay, there's one of them. Okay, come on. Come on. I hate those mini mushrooms so much. Those are such a pain. Come on, kid. Join your brother. It's kind of ironic, actually, now I think about it. I'm in the twins' bedroom as I'm discussing the twins that are in Pokemon. Anyway, funny enough, Pokemon only has, out of all the characters it has, across all of its 9 generation, only has 2 sets of twins. It has 2 characters that are considered, nice. It smells like Mario's feet. I'm glad you know what your brother's foot smells like. There's actually only 2 sets of twins. They have the twins who are like those familiar with Pokemon, the twins Tate and Liza, who are the Psychic type gym leaders. They're both like 9. And they are in Hoenn. Probably what most people remember them because, you know, back then, Hoenn, the new, is Gen 3. Is what the new thing was, double teams. And, the feet comment. Yeah, I know, right? Is, come on. I hate how they run into different rooms like this. Come on, boy. We're just gonna jump all the way across the halls for this, aren't we? Gotcha. Looks like there's another Boo in this room. Anyway, so anyone who's played Pokemon might remember, you know, Tate and Liza just because they're famously a gym leader double battle. Taboo. Come on. Sometimes they do it like that and they're easy, and other times they're just not. Cool. Something that will not appear in the direction you're looking, so you have to stay home back way, but... Yeah, I like, he's like, if you don't look at a ghost, it might not appear. I'm like, yeah, as if I haven't figured that out by now. Okay, let's see, was there anything else I needed in this room? Nice. I'll take money. I don't think there's anything else of interest in here. Stole your thing. Anyway, so, they have, ironically enough, the fact that along the shore of the story that I keep getting interrupted by because I'm trying to play this game at the same time, and it's hard to, Mallion always tells me about it, it's like, you can go and just talk about things. I'm like, it's easier to talk about things when I'm doing something that doesn't require me to actively focus. You know, so, like, this is a sort of thing that I'm like, it's not something I can do as mindlessly as something like Sonic, for instance. I do have to pay attention to what I'm doing because I don't know the game as well. So, like, when I'm playing as well, it's kind of hard to keep a train of thought in conversation. So, ironically, as much as I've had brain zoomies today and been wanting to talk about things for hours, it's actually kind of difficult for me to do it at the same time while also playing this game a little bit. So, I'm not sure, actually, at this point, Malian is coming or not, but, at the very least, I'll try and complete the area I'm on. Even if, you know, she might not stop by. So, I don't know why I saved it the other toad. I could have saved it this one. Alright. Anyway, so, point being, my favorite characters, in Pokemon, at least two of my favorite characters, who I've, like, built a lot of things around out of inspiration, got a special outfit in Pokemon, of course. So, of course, the first thing my brain wanted to be is like, hey, remember how much you... Remember? Because they're, like, they fall into, like, you know, special interest to, like, the max for me. So, they're kind of like, hey, remember how much you love these characters? Well, now you need to go remember that. And you also need to go and... need to go and remember how much you love these characters. And then you need to remember all the lore you know about these characters. And you need to go and, like... My brain just went haywire, and they're like, okay, let's go and, like... Oh, I need the fire one, don't I? Alright, let me go get a fire thing. I'm guessing I have to... Where's the nearest fire? So I'll go down and things. I need fire first in order to do that one, and I don't think any of these are strong enough fires for me to do. Alright, I do have... I don't know what just made noise, but whatever. Oh, great. Love that those things explode. I can't access any of these yet. Alright, where is their... I can't remember. Where is their fire? I guess I'll go look for a fire then, somewhere then. I walked around that guy clearly. Love how I'm taking... Oh, it came from the mouse. Alright. That's fine. So, I love all the explosives. The abundance of explosives in this game. So, okay, where am I going now? Let's go down. So, point being is that there's these characters I really like. I feel like I've said this 4 times. I can't even keep my thoughts straight. And my brain just is immediately thinking about, like, okay, what is the event going to be like that has them in it? Am I going to have enough of my currency? Because I'm a free-to-play gacha player for the most part. But, like, what did I even run over? Oh my gosh, guys. And so, like, am I going to have enough resources? What's the event going to be about? I love these characters so much. I'm so excited for any instance for them to talk, because they are, like, 2 of, like, 3 virtually confirmed autistic characters in Pokemon. Like, there are a couple other ones, but for some reason, Gen 5 just had a lot of very autistic-leaning characters. So, of course, they were the ones, when I was younger, I naturally gravitated towards, not really realizing why, until later on I'm like, oh, because they're like me. How strange. So, like, I also just love them because they're just, they like, these 2 guys, they like trains. They love trains so much. And they're just so very much presenting that way. Like, the one guy that's, like, in the white is, like, he, like, is very strong like that because he always speaks in, like, direct sentences. He doesn't, like, he's very, like, rigid in the way that, like, the way he always talks is a very certain way. And when he's forced to, like, improvise, he'll speak in less than full sentences. Like, he's got a lot of energy. He's very fixated on stuff, like... But then the other one, the one in the black, is the one I relate to more as a, like, autistic person, as far as, like, is much more, less expressive. You speak more monotone. You don't express through your face as much. So you usually substitute that with volume, which is exactly how I am when I'm excited. I usually just get louder. And it means you also aren't the best fall control, but you also fall into the other thing. I fall into the categories that, like, you don't quite get how people work, but you do your best to try and, like, at the very least, learn social conventions and try and be polite and stuff like that. So I relate to him a lot just because it's very similar. Like, the way this character works is very similar to how I am as a person. So like him a lot. Really excited to get his special outfit. I went to go get fire and I completely forgot because ADHD brain. Anyway, where's the fire again? It's in the side room with the guy. The back. I need to remember which room it is that I go to in order to get the fire. Anyway, so I was just hyper-fixating again, special interest sort of thing, where I'm just like, let me go. Well, I have the key to this room. I might as well go here as long as I'm here. But, and being like, hey, let's go think about these characters and go and analyze their outfits, because their outfits look great. I'm very excited for them. Analyze their outfits, and there's going to have this whole event about, like, they always work together. They're, like, part of a duo, and and for this event, they're going to, like, attempt to be, like, less than that. So, they're going to try and team up in different ways, and, like, both of them have different opinions on that. And, like, for all intents and purposes, this fight works essentially the same as the granny fight. Just now we're using pool balls, but same vibes. So we gotta wait for this guy to hit the thing, then we hit him with the balls, and then should be easier if it was easier to direct this thing, but such is the thing. I really don't miss using the C stick on the Nintendo controllers. Double sticks works fine for PlayStation. It's never quite worked for Nintendo. Look at him with his long, skinny little arms. What a lanky guy. Well, lanky dude. Anyway. Let's find that boo. So, my brain, of course, for like the first few hours of this morning was just like, here, go and remember all the details and you would know about this subject. And I just paced around, like, legit, just walked in circles for a while because I was just having, like, I can just say it's just like brain zoomies, essentially, where I'm like, Malin wasn't home, because normally I would have been like, hey, look at this new outfit, and also, do you want to talk about the subway bosses for an hour? And by talk about them, I mean, I tell you about them for like an hour until my brain feels properly stimulated again. So, boo. Come on. Literally clipping him through the wall there. So, nice. Save the boo. Okay, and now have access to this room. This one's a pain. Again, only because its depth perception makes this one a little difficult to do. You essentially have to see these guys on the projection and then catch them. Though if you pay attention to where they spawn, sometimes it's not too hard to find them. Because they do just make a poof wherever they start. Alright, come on. I do like even though these guys are annoying, I do like the sounds they make. They sound properly creepy. I just think all the ghost sounds in this game were very well done. Okay, I got you and then you didn't grab. Come on. Yeah, that's rough when you have the two of them. Then you have to, like, kind of just circle around and be like, oh, there's 3 of them. Great. I'd be so close to them to get, like, activate. How? Oh my gosh. I swear I'm just, like, just either not reacting right or just not responding correctly sometimes when I'm doing these catches. Or just, you know, there is a delay. We're using over hardware, so there is a bit of delay here, but... Cool, glove. Ew, it's a little sweaty. Well, I mean, he was being kidnapped at the time, so it probably was pretty sweaty. Shamboo, which I'm guessing is a play on ShamWow. Nice. Man, ShamWow, who even knows that, like, reference at this point? Could be shampoo. I like to think ShamWow. Again, it makes me feel old. I was curious if I could pull that off. Apparently I can't. Oh. Well, that's interesting. A little creepy too. That's cool. Anyway, ShamWow. Yeah, I know, right? Crazy, huh? Billy Mays. Things that make you feel dated. 2000s music, you know, all the good stuff. Okay, now I need to go back to what I was doing originally, which was looking for something for fire. I believe it was in the other room. So I essentially spent the early part of the morning where I was just like, okay, now my brain only wants to focus. Okay, yep, there it is. Where my brain was like, I only want to focus on this one thing. So I spent kind of like the morning, like just scrolling Instagram, because, you know, I follow, you know, the Pokemon Masters channel, looking and seeing what the new outfits look like, looking at what the new Pokemon were going to be like, looking at what... I don't know if I can water this. That's pretty. Yes, we'll come back to that later. I think there's something special you can do with that later, but I can't do it right now. Anyway, so... I don't know, there's anywhere that's easier to get fire from, but... Need that to go light some candles. And so, I was just searching all over the place and just getting super excited about when these characters come out, because they'll come out on the 31st. And I'm very excited. They're my favorite characters in the game. Very nice to see them have a thing. They always have just such, like, sweet interactions, too, just because, again, there's something... when you have characters that are twins, you usually fall into a lot of the usual archetypes. The thing I like most about what they do with theirs is, like, again, they have the one pair that's, like, a pair of twins that are, like, you know, they're more the stereotypical... yeah, I know. I just want... yeah, thank you. I just wanted to save. That have the more, like, stereotypical, you know, we're twins and we're psychic, so therefore we can read each other's minds and we're super close, but they're also kids. The reason I like the subway bosses doing that is that they're, like, they're adults. They're, like, you know, they have their, like, own interests and stuff like that, but they also have their own shared interests, and they just kind of get each other. And, you know, they're both kind of, because, again, strongly autistic leaning, they both have this sort of, like, idea of, like, well, not everyone understands this, but we understand each other. And it kind of reminds me of, like, how I feel, like, with Madeline, is that I'm, like, we don't always, like, people don't always get us, but we get each other. Creepy. Come on, point your light down. I just hate this sometimes. It's like, hey, you're pointing at the ceiling. I'm like, why would I be pointing at the ceiling? Alright, where are you? I know you can get more than one ghost at a time. For some reason, I'm really struggling to do it. I used to be very good at this game. Although, I will give myself some slack and be like, it probably is just because I am getting a little bit of a delay here between what's happening on the screen versus what is actually reacting to on you guys. So, okay. Come on, pull off. So, oh, come on. I am just struggling with the controls sometimes, guys. And I can't even get through a singular story just because I'm struggling so much with this and trying to, like... Oh, in case you guys didn't notice, Madeline has walked in. We weren't sure...
So defeated.
I do, because I feel very defeated today. And also just because it's... Again, it's hard for me to talk about stuff when I have to focus on doing stuff in here, so... I've felt like I couldn't get the PS5 to work, although XD pointed something out. That probably is what is the problem. And I forgot about it, but...
What is it? Is it like a...
There's a setting that's for sometimes the PS5 switches to that, like...
developer mode kind of thing?
Yeah, where it's like you can't stream with it.
That's all I was thinking about that because I saw your text when I was in the shower. And I was wondering about that because I know you can stream from the PS5, so I was wondering if it also would like.
Well, it's the setting mode that like you have to switch on if you want to go on like YouTube or something like that. And I didn't turn it on, but it could have activated.
Yeah, interesting.
So honestly, that might be what's wrong, but it's just it sucks when you're like, I've been messing with this for 40 minutes, and was it as simple as flipping a switch?
Switch, yeah.
Which it might be, and just the fact that like after I committed to doing that,
To the bench. Yeah.
you know. And I was like, so we'll keep it a mystery what our other spooky game was going to be. Maybe we'll come back on, you know, in a couple of days. But, it just was like, I was ready to do it. I waited 40 minutes for that thing to download. And then it couldn't work. And so I'm like, I guess we're going to go play Luigi's Mansion again. And now I'm playing Luigi's Mansion and being like, man, that's very cute. I'm dying. And I can't... Now I made a cute little Charlie thing. It's very adorable.
I was trying to even hopefully cheer her up with a picture of little Charlie.
It's little Charlie is very cute. And just the fact that, like, I'm, like... You know, I'm doing fine, but I'm just also, like... I can't really focus on something because I have to focus on this.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, now I have... Alright, sorry it took so long. I said sham wow, I thought I said... I don't know why, I thought it was like shadow or something. Would you like to sit in a beanbag, sir? Let me clean a beanbag up for you, my friend. Hello, small dog. Would you like to sit in a beanbag?
Now we're doing pulling a portal and shooting the moon.
Shut up to that dude.
I always thought this was the coolest. So, as you can see, Perry has stolen Madeleine's chair. That's our dog Perry right now.
I was cleaning off a beanbag for him. Well, I guess that I
Well, clearly you can't...
That's fine. That's alright. Move your feet, lose your seat. What are you gonna do?
So that's our dog Perry. He's making
What the?
he likes
Is that
beanbags.
your bean?
I like the fact that Madeline was cleaning one off for him, and he's like, okay, thank you, Madeline.
Very sweet.
He just, Madeline took his, you'll have to sit in between the beanbags.
I will. I'm right over here. There's a beanbag right off the screen, so I was moving. There's blankets in it.
Because Perry will sleep there while we're gaming.
He likes to sit in the beanbag. See, right now he's nesting.
See, there's our Perry.
Wow.
Isn't he cute?
Can't move him now. He's comfortable.
Yeah, I just love the fact that you were clearing out space for him, and he's like, oh, what a convenient bag this is right now.
Oh, Perry.
How convenient that you have moved, and now I can sit here. So, you get the Perry cam. he'll just, you guys can't normally see him. You can see him right there. He's he's like if a corgi and a golden retriever had a kid, is essentially what we think. He has like a very like golden retriever head, but like he's got a corgi body.
He's very much a corgi mixed with some sort of, I don't know.
He's also probably like a dwarf because they say like.
That's the way that his feet. He's kind of like a basset hound. You know how their feet kind of like go like out like that. It's kind of like that. It's okay, Pee-Pee. I'll sit over here, bud.
So normally you can't see him. Normally he's off screen in his own beanbag, and just this time you can see him because now he is on screen. But he is normally with us. Just usually you guys can't see him.
Yay, good boy.
So. Yeah, so essentially I've been doing this game, and the thing is I kind of have to focus on this while I'm doing this. And normally if you were playing, I would be able to like, oh, I could have talked about stuff, but the problem is that I'll have to break my focus to focus on the game, and I'll lose track of what I was saying. So I think I've mentioned the event in Pokemon Masters like 3 times. I've not gotten to the end of the story yet.
Well, I could, sit and prompt. I would play this game, but I don't want to because it's scary.
It's really not.
Also, the controls are hard.
It's not scary. It's really the controls are hard. That's the reason you don't want to play this.
I played Luigi's Mansion 3, and those controls are significantly stupider.
Well, they work. They are smoother controls, but the mechanics are less fun.
It's M&M's for me. You can't have any. These are for adults.
I do think we have all the items, so we can catch her now.
Here, come get in your bean. Come on. Get in your bean bag. Lie down.
Still damp with sweat of the living. Love it.
Gross. Did you get his hat or his gloves?
I got his gloves, his shoe, and his star. So that should be everything.
Yeah. Which means you should be able to catch her.
Yes.
Yeah, Evie's been, that's just kind of,
King
I was
Boo.
thinking about that before we went to the shower. I was like, maybe I'm just a big weenie. So, like, everyone else has got to work and do all this stuff. But for some reason, I feel like I can't work and do all these things. Because I was like, oh, you sent me the message earlier today about the Pokemon Master stuff. But I didn't even get to look at it until, like, 4 o'clock. Just because, you don't get a break when you got the 10 kids. So, like, that was crazy. But it's exciting. It is, just imagine Perry is me. So if you're like, hey, who's talking? It's Perry. Her strength as well. Oh, do you need one more thing? Oh, he has it.
Yeah, I have it. You just can only do one at a time.
I think I want some cereal. Girl slay. I like when you shine the light and it goes bing, 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 and then she shows up. I love some sound effects, dude. Mario, he pees his pants. Oh, Bowser. Isn't the fact that he's revived Bowser means Bowser's
Also,
dead?
I like this like, this could be
dead, dude.
It's like, this could be horrible for you.
I'm already dead. She's cool. Sweet happiness and oils.
I like the fact that, like, she's like, I'm ready to go back to my painting now. Like, you have a fight, but, like, she's not, like, fighting you, necessarily. She's like, I'm ready to go back. I can sleep in peace in my painting.
Yeah.
Like, so she's, like, the most, like, passive of the ghosts, technically speaking. She is, quite a fight we're doing right now.
No, like, dang, girl. You look like the speedrunners.
No, I
got, like, the free... Let's go, baby! I think you get a special reward when you get them all in one thing.
Yeah.
Oh, are you tiny?
Yep.
Oh, you look like normal size. Luigi.
Come on, open. Thank you.
Mario. Luigi.
Like, she's the only one that does, like, it's a boss fight, but it's not like a fight.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on the top floor. That's the attic. Okay, where's the boo?
Is he in the crystal ball? Boom. Slay.
Luigi.
I love the boos. They're just so... They're little derps. I love boos.
Yeah.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I wish I could dress up as a boo for So I have for preschool tomorrow. We have like our song fest, which is where we dress up in costumes and the kids sing Halloween songs. And I'm trying to figure out what to dress up as because I have so many great costumes, but I'm trying to find one that isn't too good. You know, one that because then afterwards our days got swapped, so then we'll have to watch the kids after school. So then I'll have to interact with parents and be like, "Hi, I'm here in your house in my full costume." So I want to do a costume
Madeline,
that's cool because I've seen a lot of people.
you're a preschool teacher. You can literally get away with wearing anything.
Also, I had them in my class last year, so they also know that I'm weird. But also, it's just But I was thinking, I was like, I've seen so many cool costumes on TikTok of people being like really devoted to great costumes, and I want to do that. But I also know that we're kind of low on staff at the house at the moment, and just I don't know if I'll have time to do it tomorrow specifically. For Halloween, I would love to. I'm also going to dress up for Halloween for school. And then after school, I'm going to dress up, and Evie and I are going to sit and be in our house. And, I mean, our parents will be home by Halloween, they said, but I think it's late in the evening. So it's like, we're kind of doing just kind of like a late Halloween. So Evie and I tomorrow are probably going to just do, like, Halloween-y stuff. And on Halloween itself, luckily, we don't have to work in the afternoons. We do have to work I have to work in the morning. And then Friday, you don't have to work. Oh, do you have like the little water sprite things, or do you not have the water coming in?
I have.
They're so cute, the little like.
I know they are.
birds.
They are cute, aren't
Is there
they?
a poop ghost? Isn't there money in the toilet? In the outhouse?
There's a toad in there, but.
I knew there was something in the toilet. What does that comment say? I can't.
They tend to hide near toilets. Yes.
I'll be right back. I have to help my dad with something. You got it, dog. We're just hanging and banging. We're just chilling.
See how the energy level went up like by 10 when Madeline joined?
Look at this cute little boy. Well, now I feel better because I showered. I wanted to shave my legs. So I was like, well, if I wear a lot of my costumes, I like to wear tights with them. And and it's something like very specific. You only really know if you shave your legs and then you let your leg hair grow back out. It's like in the middle stage before you either have like fully long leg hair, like you haven't shaved yours in a long time, or like if the guy hasn't shaved their legs in a long time, and always let their hair grow out for like excess of over a month, I would say, where you have like a good amount. Then
I just find that more comfortable.
I'm like in the middle where it catches on your pants, and if you're wearing like dry fit stuff, it catches and it really irritates my legs. For me, it's more comfortable to have completely. That's why I like Bing Bong to be hairless, because I want to be hairless. I want to have no hair. I want my body to be completely. I want to be rubber. I want to be a little lizard. I'll have my crackly lizard skin. Because that feeling drives me nuts. And I was like, you know what? Shaving is such a pain, but I really hate the sensation of having leg hair, the way it touches your pants and stuff. It's a huge sensory thing. That's why I'm like, do you think I'm autistic, or do you think I'm just nuts?
I mean, people with ADHD have sensory stuff too. It's just in a different way.
I was like, I don't think I'm autistic. But I'm like, what else can you have where you have...
The difference is that people with ADHD, it's more a matter of not necessarily like the same sort of sensory thing of like, is an autistic person. It's more, you're more likely to sensory overwhelm because you take in so much.
Yeah, dog, let's freaking go. Mario! Ew. 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 Yeah, dude, when I was a kid, I used to freaking... One thing I discovered only in the past year or so is that one of my biggest, I guess, stims you could say, or like tics would be vocal stims. I do a lot of vocal stims. Oh, this guy. Ooh, why is he that color? Is he ice or water?
No, I need the ice for that.
I have never seen that guy before.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the point. Dang it.
Oh, fake door. That's a pain.
Yeah.
See, I love the little boo laugh. Like, I think that laugh to me just
Sorry, I meant to go
more,
in this room down here.
Like, that laugh just sounds more kind of like, mischievous, very goblin-y.
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't sound too cartoony. It still sounds kind of goblin.
The ones that we have in like Luigi's Mansion 3, they sound a little too clean.
Yeah, well, just here, I think it's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's 1. It's interesting. It would be cool to do like a comparison in regards to, thanks, guys. In regards to setting the atmosphere. And here, by having something more low resolution, like FNAF is a much more, the first one especially, which is pretty much universally acclaimed with the highest amount of atmospheric setting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that comes from having it be just low quality, essentially, where you have kind of a lower
It's
frame rate.
kind of the same reason analog horror is a thing.
Exactly. It's like once things start getting too clean, it's like you can have horror kind of like you have in like Resident Evil kind of thing, where it's like, there's like a certain amount of, you know, grotesque horror and body horror and that kind of stuff, and that's not really my favorite. I mean, everyone's gonna find it gross if... Look at him moving in slow motion. That's awesome. He's dead. Dog, that's how I laugh. That's exactly what I sound like. But I think it's really interesting to look and be like, is it, like, universally does it make people afraid? Is it, like, something that's more specific to a certain age bracket? Because, like, for you and I, this is something that we are afraid of as kids. So is it because we are afraid of it as kids, it's kind of, like, rooted in your mind why you're afraid of it kind of thing? That's what I'm wondering. If it's kind of like, you know, analog horror works great for people who grew up with, like...
Okay, this guy is driving me nuts.
Yeah, that guy's smacking you. Smacking and whacking if you will.
Oh, there's
2 banana guys.
That's not helpful.
How do you get rid of that guy? You should have blasted with Master Blasting.
Well, he would...
Not the banana. Ow! 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 What's up, Cookie? Hi. You're very handsome. You're a very handsome little guy. Hi, handsome guy. Where you going? Oh, you turn around? Okay, bye.
Okay, I appreciate that. Stop doing that.
I've been just kind of chilling with a tickle at the back of my throat. It's not been my favorite time. I don't know what it is. It's just like, you know, like when you have like a dog hair stuck in your throat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Bam, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. I love that sound.
And that'll take us to the boss area.
You are so cute and tiny. Yes, what a cute little guy you are. Oh, yes, yes, sleepy too. Oh, a sleeping guy. Yeah, I'm so excited for on Pokemon Masters. They're releasing the Subway Masters, which is Ingo and Emmett, in Halloween costumes, and I think they look kind of funny. It makes me laugh because they've got like this cool half skirt going on. And they've got like
they normally wear long coats for context.
I think they don't look funny, but I think their pose looks really funny because normally their jacket, their like huge jacket, is kind of like a hoop skirt, so it like creates a certain silhouette. And then seeing them without it, this is like the
Just
only one.
Shows off how freaking tall and gangly they are.
Well, in there they have another one where they're not wearing they're wearing like suits. They don't do their signature pose. They do a different pose. But this one, they're doing their signature pose without their giant hoop skirt jacket, and it is funny because you're like, look at them, they're doing a little squat. I don't know, it just makes me giggle. I'm like, wow, they really are bending their knees. Like, it doesn't look like they're bending that low in their big jackets, but when they don't have the big jackets, you're like, dang, buddy, you're freaking got some mega knees. You're practically sitting on the ground. It's very cool. I'm very excited to pull for them. I like playing that game a lot. It's very fun. And I'm interested to see what they do because they famously left Ingo and Emmett twins, mind you, very connected twin brothers. They separated them by multiple generations in actual dimensions. So they were like, let's split the twins up. We have 2 sets of twins in this universe, let's split them up.
Well, that's the thing that I'm like, when they did the previous event with Tate and Liza, who are the other twins, they did have an event which was they had 2 different versions. They had the first one, which was the New Year's ones, where I think it's like Liza fell into an ultra wormhole with a Stela, yeah. And so Tate had to like get Jirachi to wake up to wish her back. It was like, that's great. But then the second one that was a follow up to that one was that the one that was the second follow up to that was that they're like, okay, we got separated.
Oh, oh
Cult.
my god.
Straight up cult. And
Cult.
so they got separated, so Tia and Liza did their own respective training with different characters they thought were strong. Like I remember Guzman was one of them. And they're like, well, we want to be able to be strong on our own, so that like if we have to be our own,
And
we're
he's
fine.
such like a cool uncle.
He's a very cool uncle vibe. So I'm assuming they're gonna do something to that effect with those
I'm
two.
wondering because they've done the arc suits, which is specifically Arceus. I thought when you sent me a message saying you wonder, I thought it was gonna be Volo with Giratina, because I was like, that's perfect for Halloween. Volo with Giratina. But
Yeah, it will be. It's too soon.
I was gonna say it is too soon because they just released the arc suits, and I saw something on the upgrade scene thing called Super Awakening.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder what that's gonna be. So I am interested.
It's like some extra like power beyond like the 5 max you can get when you use a thing.
Which makes sense because I have maxed out a lot of units. Big Boo. Like, listen to his little laugh. He's so fat. He's drifted. Tokyo drifted.
I like how he popped himself before I even got the chance to do.
I didn't give you a chance to get your freaking essence, dude.
Come on. Okay, it's stuck on the geography. Come on. This is why, again, I don't like. I literally could be doing a thing right now, but it's.
No, I'm just cracking up that he like split itself and you didn't even have a chance to get your freaking ice essence yet, so you couldn't do anything. He Tokyo drifted into the unicorn horn, which I guess you can see now from the boss fight. You were supposed to hit the unicorn horn. That's actually really funny. He like popped himself by accident. Bonk. Get popped, sucker. Come on, dude.
Okay, I can literally not get around this guy.
I don't know, the way that they just fall down like little blink, 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 blink. I don't know, to me that really cracks me up. Blink, 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 blink. Significantly smaller Boo. Hi, Bean. You're so sleepy, bud. Eat ice. Punks. Ow!
Like, see, I'm holding down the button, but it takes a while to respond.
Yeah, just because of the delay through the Elgato.
Which is very annoying for boss
I
fights.
agree. Also, I'm trying not to talk too much, so I'm trying to like.
No, talk by all means. Means I don't have to talk.
It's pee and it's also poop.
Really. I also just really don't like using the C-stick here.
So is the C-stick for your camera?
No, it's for pointing the vacuum up or down, but the thing is that it has the old reverse controls, you know?
Well, those are a pain, so I always do it the wrong way first.
Yep.
Freaking drives me nuts. Anyway, so there's this thing on Neopets where they release a new avatar, and you have to get it. It's the dead Chia avatar. Because apparently a long time ago there was like an official artwork of a dead Chia like in a funeral. And it's very funny. People like unearthed it, so then it became kind of like a running joke, and then. But it's kind of like, now the staff kind of got into it, and they made, like, Dead Chia merch. So it's kind of like, part of it's like, oh, yay, like, we get to have this stuff. But part of it's like, you know, when you're on, once the meme moves to Facebook, it's not cool anymore. It gives a little bit of those vibes of like, well, once the creators acknowledge it, isn't it, like, not cool anymore? Because it's not, like, a cool little personal thing. I didn't know you could shoot, like, an ice ball.
You can, but the problem is that you have to click the thing, and since my Frost is taking like a very delayed timer anyway, it's very hard to do.
Is that okay? I was like, I'm wondering. I think it's just keeps shooting an ice ball. So it thinks you're shooting ice balls.
Yeah, that's the problem.
There you go.
Says.
Rah! And also, they're flying off the roof, which is really not helpful. And it's getting smaller, which is a plus. So I'm trying to get this thing where you have to get a dead Chia on your account. It has to be 0 HP and be sick, and it has to be yellow. And you have to look at it from your account. So I'm trying to get one, but I'm like, I don't A, have the money to transform it, and B, oh, this looks cool. A little X-eye? That's cool. I don't have enough money to transform it because it's really expensive, and on top of that, I don't want to, like, trade any of my pets.
Come on.
At the moment, so I'm just gonna, like, meep, you know? I don't know.
That boss fight is a pain for other reasons.
My ankles are thick feeling. You ever get that feeling where you're like, you've just been sitting for too long?
Pickled dandelions with barnacles and a diesel marmalade.
Ew, what's that? What?
Marinade. What he's eating for dinner, apparently. And that's why his eyes are like that. And he has no hair. It'll be funny. He's like, actually, I'm 22. I used to keep eating this junk. Okay, let's see what we got for our ghost here. No, I'm hoping for the Pokemon Masters event that they'll do something nice with that, because again, the way that it's advertised is the fact that they're doing it, that they are organizing a tag team tournament, which, you know, is one of the unique things that they had as a within the sub-team was the tag battles. And you know, the from what it sounds like, I don't know exactly how it felt, but what it was advertised is the idea is that originally there might be potentially it could potentially just be the two of them, like just teaming up with new people and learning new strengths, but there might potentially be some misunderstanding between the two of them as well, because Ingo originally thinks they're going to be teaming up, and it's like, actually I think we should team up with other people. And so kind of the hints they get from when they're teaming up with Tate and Liza is the idea of, like, not just necessarily learning to work with someone else, because they work apart normally, actually, so, like, it's not like something like that, but more the matter of the fact of, like,
Digger, you were freaking busy.
Yeah, I was pretty busy.
Colossus.
I like Biff Atlas, that's, like, such a tough guy name.
Oh,
Nana, Miss Petunia, Slim Bankshot, Henry and Orville, which I'm sure everyone knows where that comes from, and Boolossus. So, like, probably going to be something that I'm looking forward to what will be. It looks like they're sharing their respective things, like, you know, Liza's paired with Ingo, and she's the one who got pulled into a warp hole, so she might be describing her experience of, like, hey, I got separated from my twin. I got abducted by an alien literally at New Year's. And then Tate's teamed up with Emmett, and so, who's just kind of, the thing that I think is going to be interesting about them is the fact that, like, I'm gonna go check out the gallery, actually, see the different things we have, is that Pokemon Masters does a really good job of the interactions between the two of them, because you can see a lot of, like, you don't see a ton of it in the game, because you only really see them inside the subways, but I really do like their interactions in Pokemon Masters, because they do actually give a chance to kind of, like, see how, like, they care for each other in their, like, unique ways, is that you kind of get the vibes of, like, Emmett's a very go-getter, he very much is cause and effect, always going 100 miles an hour, always looking for the next thing, he's always very excited. And very energetic all the time, but also very direct. In fact, in the manga, like, he's actually very sharp and very kind of almost insulting to people most of the time. Very sarcastic a lot of the time. But, I was going to look at Bogmire's portrait, but I can't see. Is he over here? Nope, not that one. But, he's also very, like, Emma just like absolutely adores his older brother. Like he's always bringing up like how strong he is and how much he wants to be like that and how he's always excited to do stuff with him all the time. While if you go and like listen to more of like, oh, here's Bogmire. I think he's so just gelatin.
Yeah, he's just so him, you know?
It's like that he's just like hanging out. Also, cool things that like there is like a. I think so. Pretty sure.
Okay.
If not, try the other one.
Siki, whatever he says, Yabba yabba. That's also high up top. Dang, I gotta use the passcode. Dang. Oh, Perry, I have 2 open beverages. Please do not spill Sounds like our brother has returned home from his.
Hey, so you happened to show up just as our brother came back and Perry dipped to go bark at him.
So now I return.
Somehow he's now on the screen. I like that he's barking even though he's not even close to them. So, like, anyway, so...
I'm trying to buy Neopets Premium, but I don't know my dad's PayPal account. Because I don't have my own PayPal account. I might just paid stuff on his. Pay you back when requested.
So, like, I like the fact that when you go, like, to Ingo's voice lines, he's much more contemplative. He still has the same sort of excitement and enthusiasm, but most famously, like, never smiles. He says very, like, distressed look about him most of the time, and he's not even aware of it. Like,
is he the loud one, or is he the one that speaks in long sentences?
Both.
Okay. So, he's loud and articulate, and Emmett is quiet and short-spoken. Oh, that's right. I am Emmett. This is my Cigna suit.
Exactly. He talks in short. He talks in short sentences, and he's not good at coming up with things off the cuff. So he comes up with like prepared things. He says so that's just why whenever you face him on the battle, he always just states what the safety protocols are.
He's more autistic.
He's that flavor of autistic because then you have Ingo on the other side of the spectrum, which is why he's so highly articulate, is because of that. Is like because he's still not very good at talking to people,
Harry.
So he just is like overly polite as a kind of compensation to that. And also that's the reason why he's so loud, is that since he knows he's not very expressive, he's trying to show his excitement in a different way, which is just turns into more volume.
Me.
Well, I definitely do that myself too. When I get really excited, I get louder.
Me too.
So, but I like the fact that like his exactly. I like the fact that most of his while most of Emmett's things are talking about like, oh my gosh, I love battling so much. I'm very excited to be here. Have you heard about my brother? He's amazing. And like most of Ingo's things are usually like, like, oh, I look distressed. I'm really happy right now, I promise. Or like, hey, can you keep an eye on my brother, please? I just, I worry about him. And you're just like, aw, that's so sweet. So,
Harry!
It's nice to see them. So clearly there's a difference. I'm not going to go very far in this. I'm just going to go and unlock the door.
Yeah, because now Perry's going crazy, so I gotta...
Yeah, we're not going to stay much longer because Perry's making a racket.
You can get a jumbo plushie for only $200. It's really expensive. Neopets. Oh, it's $120 for stuffed animals. Only 400 plushies for each Neopet species. Buddy, that's expensive.
I'm gonna get relatively close to where this next one is, and we'll do this if we decide to come back to this later. I'm just gonna get to the closest save point to that key, but I'm not gonna do it because that will cause the blackout, and then there's like nowhere easy to save after that. I'm just gonna try and get as close as I can though. And then we do need to go downstairs because our dogs will not shut up.
Of each species, I'm like, they only have a Shoyuru and then an Asia.
Yeah. So I'm going to be excited for what the event is because, again, like, I'm assuming the way they're going to lean like they have in the previous ones. Like, for instance, when Emma and Ingo had their event for becoming butlers and figuring out how to do that, they took both very them routes. Like, for instance, Ingo went and found Durach, who's another butler, and essentially she's like, "Hey, how do I be like you?"
I
And
remember playing that event. It was very fun.
and he's like, "I'm just," and Durach is like, "Why do you think you don't already have those skills?" I'm like, "From where I'm sitting, our jobs are very similar. You service people all day long, and make sure that they're safe and that they're well taken care of." And she's like, "I think you're overthinking this." Essentially, like you already have all those skills, just put it into a different format. So essentially, he goes overthinks. He's more contemplative, so he can sometimes overthink things, but that also makes him far more strategic. That's why he's a single battle person, because like, where's the closest toad? I think it's back here. So that's why he's like a single battle person, because he's more on like the strategic side of things. He and then you have Emmett, who takes the total opposite approach, where he's like, okay, how do I want to be a butler? I guess I'm going to go and like, I want to be able to have the most energy possible. So he's like, how I want to be able to still be me, but still do this role correctly. So he has this, again, very out of the box way of thinking about it, where he goes to peers instead, and he's like, hey, you're a great performer. You really connect to people on an emotional level with your performances. Can you help me with being a butler? And Pierce is like, I don't really know about that, but I think I get what you're trying to say, so let me try and help you. And so he essentially, it gives him a very similar message, essentially, like, you already have so much energy, you already have a connection to people, you already know how to do this, so let's just put it into a more classy way of doing it. And that's how the two of them like essentially figure out to do it. But essentially, the thing that the event's trying to get is essentially they have the same thing, they have the same thought process, they're both chasing the same goal, they just go about it differently, which is what I think is pretty interesting. Because again, when you have twins, especially when they're having the whole like black and white thing that the gen black and white has, which is the whole idea of opposing opposites. Like, I like the fact that they're like, no, actually, they're more similar in most things than anything else, but they just have different methods of going about it. Like, so, like, they both had the problem of, hey, I'm nervous, I'm trying to figure out how to do this butler role correctly, but just they went about it in very different ways. One was essentially research, the other one was, like, out of the box thinking.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I like their interactions a lot, in especially the Pokemon Masters games. And so I think that they'll probably follow something along those way with this tag battle. Just the biggest thing is that
That's crazy. So they have this stuffed animal for the 25th anniversary, which I'm like, cool. It's $120. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not spending $120 on effectively a Build-A-Bear. It looks like a Build-A-Bear.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with an adoption certification and everything. So I'm not, spending. Build-A-Bears are already really expensive.
Yes,
those
they are
like $40.
I don't know if there's anything special in this area.
So, normally you can blink and I think it teleports you.
Well, I just don't know if there's anything special now that Bogmire's gone. Let me put it that way.
No, did the power go out yet?
No, I'm not doing that thing tonight because then we'll have to do that. I was just going to see if there's any extra like things to do while I was here.
I love his little one. And it's just really expensive, and it's the only thing. It's like, get this. It's limited time and the low serial numbers, and we're only selling 400 of them, and blah blah blah. I'm like, you think 400 people have $120 to spend on a big? And that's coming from us, who are we were just looking at figurines yesterday, and we're very irresponsible with our money in general.
I actually think we are pretty responsible in the fact that we go for things we know we like.
Yeah, well, I think also I feel like we're young enough that, like, it's before...
We also don't have kids.
I was gonna say, it's before we've really, like, established things that need to be paid off regularly. Like, we don't have a house, we don't have car payments, we don't have kids.
I also don't plan to ever own a car. I own a driver's license because you literally need it to, like, apply for jobs.
And to, like, get on planes and stuff, which we do.
Just stupid. I have a passport.
Yeah, so it's kind of a thing of,
It's because I can't manage a vehicle.
Yeah,
that makes me a lesser of a person.
Having to do stuff to pay for things like that, or, rent, that kind of stuff, we pay for figurines while we can. And then, eventually we'll have to pay for rent and all that stuff, so we won't be able to buy figurines. So that's why we have to do it now! Get it in now while we can!
No, no, more. It's more
But I'm
like
not gonna buy something
you were
wrong. Just playing
responsible for
hard.
so many years, and then like the pandemic hit, and then like
So true.
we
I was just
stopped.
thinking
We
about
stopped
that.
masking so extremely. We started accepting our mental health and being like, you know what? Yes, we do like to have the shiny things and feel their textures.
Yeah, because it's so funny. I was thinking about that in college. Somebody actually once sent me a link to the food bank because they thought I was so poor I couldn't afford food. And I was like, oh, that's definitely not what it was. Because I didn't go out to lunch with a lot or dinner with a lot of my friends because I was saving to. I was paying for winter guard myself, so I was saving to pay for that. Because it's not crazy. It was $1,500 a season, which is not insane for a winter guard or band, because I mean when I did drum corps it was like 3,500 to start, and it ended up just at the end of the season I think it was about
No, there's supposed to be a mouse
$5,000
hole
in
or
general,
something
just
around
overall
here.
with all the stuff added together. So but not to for a college student I was working like 8 to 10 hours a week at Target on top of my classes, on top of working in color guard. So it's like I just didn't go out to lunch and dinner all the time because I was like, well, I need to save, my money for my expenses for color guard. So one of them, I was being so frugal, I guess, that he thought I couldn't afford. So I was like, no, like, I'm not going to use the food bank resources because there's people who, like, really need that. Like, I can afford it if I need to, but I want to spend that money on winter guard instead, like, I wouldn't, kind of thing. And now I'm like, $400? That's not that bad. I do have a $400 figurine coming in, and you know what's the crazy part is I have to paint it myself, but it's custom made figurine, so
I have the deposit down for a $500 one, so don't feel bad.
I don't feel bad. I went through an extensive design process and multiple months and a down payment and then a full payment. So if I felt bad, I wouldn't have gone through the process.
Well, I mean, but mine's not even that.
It's the Hatsune Miku Project Voltage crossover with Pokemon in the Ghost type one with Miss Magus, and it comes with a Miss Magus.
Well, oh, there it is. I'm like, I know that it's around here somewhere.
Oh, I thought you were looking for toilet paper.
No, I was trying to find this.
Wow, this place rocks! Are these all mimics?
No.
That'd be awesome, though. Is one of them a mimic? Wow! So much money! I knew one of them had to be a ghost.
Okay, come on. That's what I hate. Like, if your thing isn't pointing right in the direction, you could be staring it right in the face, and it won't, like, activate.
Mm-hmm. This kind of reminds me of like the Lego games when you like destroy stuff. This kind of thing, like I love swooping up all those little things, just like in the Lego games. You love destroying all the little things. We were watching earlier while I was doing laundry because today's just been a big chore day. We were watching speed runs of Lego Star Wars. And I'm like, you know what? They have some of those Lego games are good.
The original ones were from a gameplay perspective.
And I remember distinctly, I played Lego Star Wars. We played Lego Star Wars a lot when we were kids. So it was like one of the first big Lego games that came out. The ones I distinctly remember is Lego Star Wars was a big one. Lego Batman was another big one. Like in the very first couple rounds of them. I was like the biggest ones. The one we played a lot was Lego Marvel, I believe it was one. Luigi, run! It's a bomb! Oh yeah. Beep 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 beep. Yeah, Lego Marvel, I know there's a big dispute between our siblings over that because my brother really wanted to keep that game for himself, but when we were kids, everything was like a family game, but he wanted it to be like his game. So we never we ended up getting a separate copy and all this sort of junk. How do you get out? Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you just have to aim right.
You want this Reese's cup?
No, I'm good.
I kind of want it. Instead, we got candy grams from our band show this weekend. The flavors of these Skittles are strawberry. That one was cherry. Do you want it?
No, I'm fine.
Ugh, cherry. I was like, why does this one taste weird? Ugh. I just don't like the taste of cherry. You know? There's just flavors you don't like.
Okay, what we at for time right now?
11.
That's probably
Melonberry,
good.
raspberry, wild cherry, berry something, and strawberry. Wow, I spilled it all over my lap. We can be done if you're ready for bed.
I just know I'll probably continue doing it, and I don't want to be up super late. Because I'm like, if I go into the next area, I'll just go and I'll keep going.
It's cherry. And we do have to work tomorrow. No, boo! It might mean that one
Boo.
might be wild berry, but he's 11. Oh, sorry.
No, I can't get it.
Is that one wild berry or is it cherry?
It tastes like a cherry.
It doesn't taste or it does taste.
Not really.
The one I have isn't very strong. That's deceptive because normally cherry's red, so I normally don't eat the red ones, but that one's pink, and pink is normally strawberry.
They don't really taste strong either way. I mean, cherry usually has a very strong tart flavor.
Yeah.
I'm really getting that from either of these.
Ow!
This guy's the worst. I think you have to do that because it'll smack you in the face otherwise.
That's really funny.
Well, not the second time.
Wear them.
Also, I like that the whole reason this happens because he captured Boolossus and King Boone said, "Give me my booze back," and then they unleashed all the Portrait Ghosts. I mean, like, well, man, I think that you kind of walked into that one. Anyway. So, I know we've not been on here for very long, but...
You know what? It is what it is, dog.
I feel bad that...
Every day is a new day, and by that we mean November hopefully will be a new month, and we can...
Yeah, well, I mean, talk about October. Like I told you, I was doing trying to do this blog to do my backlog, and I just ended up being... I still haven't posted my review of the last game I did for September, and I put up an October update to say like, hey guys, I'm so busy, I can't do a game this month.
Which I've heard that it's not just us. I've heard from a lot of people October has just been weird and crazy. Look how long my hair looks in the thing. I look like I have like a 60s cut.
Yeah. It's funny.
It's me, cousin it. I'm getting my haircut tomorrow, so that's why my bangs are so long.
Or you're just a random character from like Hanna-Barbera cartoon where you can't see your eyes. Exactly. But so I didn't even play a game for my backlog this month, but I still haven't even posted the one from September. I'm supposed to post my one on Valkyria Chronicles. I'm like, I need to go back and play a level of that so I can remember what it is to write about it. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, I've been having a great time. But I haven't been doing that because as soon as I turn the PS5 on, I go play Star Rail, which I've been having so much fun with. I've been telling Melanie about it every day almost. And that was my thing. That was the rest of my story was like, I was hyper fixating on the Subway Masters. So I'm like, okay, the only way to fight a special interest hyperfixation when you need to break out of it is to try and combat with another hyper interest. So, like, I went to go play Star Rail, be like, okay, this will distract me. I'll go and I'll play and I'll strategize, I'll do some stuff. And then I was playing the story mission. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to a hotel. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of mystery. I'll probably have to fight a creature. And then, like, I walked around, found these two ladies who were definitely hitting on each other the entire time. And me, potentially. I don't know. The one lady kind of is flirting with everyone. But, like, definitely this other lady who's, like, you know, kind of a little bit more dense but straight to the point. So you're like, okay, there's so much chemistry going on right now. There's, like, definitely two, like, female pairings I could definitely say are in this game. And I love a game where it's not just all the little gay men. You can also have the gay women, too. You know?
Yeah.
I love having both. But, so we're just kind of walking around investigating this thing, and then, like, this friend of mine, you know, shows up, And you're like, hey, nice to see you. And then they straight up just get stabbed, and you're just like, what the? Where did that come from? And then they're just straight up like dead, and you're like, well, we're in a dream, so maybe they're not really dead, but at the same time, you're playing the sad music behind it. We're doing remembrance of them. We're going and finding their items. We're following up to their last moments before they died. I really hope they're not dead. It was like, I was texting Mallory and be like, oh, casual, I'm just playing this thing. And they're like, Mallory, someone died.
Die, and you're like, oh.
This is the opposite problem. I was too hyper excited about the Subway Masters. Now I'm like, just sad because this character I like died. Hopefully they're okay. I'm hoping because we're in a dream that they're okay. I haven't even gotten to like the main part of the game, I don't think, because I still don't know what's happening with all the enigmatic males in this world, but I fought a thing, and now I'm fighting another thing. I was like, how do I beat this? And like you're supposed to like he like lights everything on fire, and then you have to burn through your skill points so that he doesn't use them to make himself more powerful and continue to light you on fire. So I'm like, okay, clearly I have the wrong team for this because I have an ice and a fire person, so that's not doing me any good. So I was like, hey, you know what? It's past 1. I need to go eat. I can't be this boss. Maybe a good time to go and take a break. I'll come back to this later. But it was like one of those things where I'm like, I finished the mission, but then I was like, I need to figure out how my friend got killed.
Same.
You know? So I was like, I should have left then, but I didn't, because it just draws you in. It's the best kind of gacha game. Is a gacha game that feels like a JRPG with gacha elements. Most gacha games do feel like gacha games. Like the story, if there is one, is there in the back. You feel very stop and go. The pacing's very off. Unfortunately, that's been my experience with Genshin Impact so far. That's why I haven't gone to play it more. Which I will eventually. I vow on the stream, eventually I will play that game more because I do want to love it. I love the game. I love the characters. I like the world. I want to love the gameplay. It's just the first region sucks. And it frustrates me that it sucks because it doesn't need to suck. Especially when their other game is really great. And I won't get into this debate again because I know I've already spoken on it at length on stream. But I was playing that, so I've been an emotional roller coaster. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that I'm like, I do have friends who are really into it. And I was in the fandom for 2 years before I even... Genshin. Before I even
the art's beautiful, but I don't think the gameplay style is for me because I would get obsessed with the characters. And
well, that's the thing. I am obsessed with the characters. The problem is, it's an open world game, and especially in the first region, you see the characters. There's nothing to do with the characters. They're not part of the story. You can't access their character quests. You can't it feels so empty. It's just like, go here, fight a thing. Go here, fight a thing. Go here, fight a thing. Go here, collect a thing, and bring it to location B, and then we'll let you talk to the characters. That's the problem, is that I do love the characters. I do like the ideas.
The dark reds are the cherries because I into dark red one, and I got attacked again.
I figured it was the dark red ones.
I think I just accidentally gave you all my strawberries.
I think you did, yes. They didn't taste like cherry. Yeah, those taste like cherry.
Okay, I only couldn't see the inside, so I didn't know what flavor it was. It was really gross.
But that's the thing. You actually probably be fine because you can love the characters, but it's only after like all the quests are done when you do like side missions with them. So yeah, actually, there wouldn't be enough to get hyper focused on.
Paimon talks too much.
Oh my gosh.
I turn her voice off, I would.
Again, I've been in the Genshin fandom for at least 2 years before I even started playing the game, which I only started playing the game this year, earlier this year.
I have a significantly lower tolerance for annoying characters than you do.
I know, and she drives me nuts. But, or maybe it was last year. It was the end of last year, actually, that I started playing Genshin. Only because I love Star Rail so much, I literally played Star Rail blindly. Because there was a guy with a water dragon, and I love dragons, and I wanted to get him. So I started playing the game, fell in love with it. The first area just got me, sunk its hooks in me. Loved the characters, loved the combat, loved the gameplay. The worlds are big and immersive. So I'm like, I'll try Genshin. Star Rail's amazing. I'm going to try Genshin. I heard so many good things about it. I love the characters. I have many figurines of them. So I'm like, I'll play the game. And then I started playing the game and be like, okay, this is kind of bare bones, but that's fine. It's the beginning of the game. It'll probably open up. It's an open world after all.
There were a ton of Genshin Impact ads when I was in Japan, like all over buildings and
Yeah.
plazas, and there were Star World ads in the trains.
But like, I'm like, let me play it. It'll probably open up. As Melanie says, you have Paimon, who's really kind of annoying. The thing that I didn't like was that the main character never speaks, which in Star Rail, the main character speaks sparingly, kind of like Joker for Persona 5 or Violet from Three Houses. They have a clear personality, they just aren't someone who's of many words. So, like, which is fine because even in Star Rail, like, you literally, one of your companions is that way too. He's the same way. He doesn't talk a lot, but usually when he says things, it's important. So, he's very dry-humored, which is funny, so that, like, your character isn't naturally the dry-humored one. Your character in Star Rail is actually more, chaotic presence. They talk to trash cans and stuff like that. It's really funny. But the Traveler in Genshin, like, you literally get told, like, oh, hey, you lost your sibling. Like, okay, good, a thing to connect with, to go and, like, have an emotional pool. And then it's, like, brought up sparingly at best. You're kind of, like, jerked around by Paimon. And the problem is Paimon's always talking. Always talking. But your main character never talks. Ever. So it's kind of like she's talking for you or saying obvious things, and I just dislike that, like, you get introduced to someone and the person that you're talking to, the character, like, the first character you talk to is like Amber, and you would think that maybe you would talk to them, like, about yourself, or, you know, like a dialogue option. The problem is that Paimon always reacts, so you say the thing to the character, Paimon reacts for you, so your character is essentially just blank and lifeless, and you have no connection to them at all. And this doesn't change. I went into the city. I got lost first, but then I went into the city. I went and saw the knights. I saw the dragon, which was kind of cool. You get the little hint of what the Archon quest is going to be.
To climb a mountain.
I tried to climb a mountain. It was, yeah, Mallory was playing as well because we were kind of like passing off the controller.
I think I would have fun in regards to resource collection, because that's why I really like Legends Arceus. It's my favorite Pokemon game, because I really like the kind of like overworld vibe of like, it's just a looser style of gameplay. I was like, it's not necessarily open world, because it's not technically an open world game. And I'm not always the biggest fan of open world. I just like the looser, where you don't have to go into battle to catch things, and you don't have to do...
Too many open worlds are too big, and they give me, like, overwhelm, because I don't know what to do first. And I don't want to miss anything.
We minimize how many screens you had to go through to complete actions that I wanted to do, such as catching Pokemon.
Exactly. Having, like, a feeling of an open world, but still having an area and a place where you can kind of, like, go, like Sonic Frontiers or Legends Arceus. Those are my ideal sort of open world games, because I like feeling like I have an area that I'm confined to, so I can't go everywhere yet, but I have a lot of freedom to explore. So the thing with Genshin, so we play it, and then you get introduced to, like, you know, like, there's a city, and they have this, like, group of knights, and you get introduced to them.
They're called the Knights of Favonius. Dog, that's a lame name.
Well,
so you're already fighting up a hill battle with me, at least.
Names aside, you have, like, okay, we have this pretty cool leader. We have, like, this very flirtatious mage. We have your gay eye patch knight guy.
Niles, let's go.
He's literally, I don't know what it is about that they always have to have someone with a low voice and an eye patch. Flamboyant. And they are always just very... We just call it the Niles archetype because that's what that character is in Fire Emblem Fates.
Freaking awesome.
But, and they're like, okay, cool, I like these guys. And so then you start, and you're like, so you get introduced to them. You go and fight the dragon off, and then you're like, cool. And then they all disappear. Like, they don't do anything for the rest of the quest. They aren't there at all. You continue the quest. You meet the guy who's ultimately the Wind God, who's going to help you fighting the dragon. But you don't see any of the other knights for the rest of the quest. They just disappear into the ether or something. You meet with the captain of the guards, and then she's like, hey, there's a friend of mine that can help us. You're like, okay, cool. It's some guy who's a bartender. You only figure out through talking to, like, other people around town, if you choose, which I did because I wanted to find more information. He's apparently like this wine tycoon, like he's super rich, But like, and you're like, why did this my knight captain lady? Why is this her friend? What does he have to do with this? And he doesn't explain it.
In the background.
I'm sure. That was honestly my first thought was that was probably what was going on.
Probably in a relationship.
They probably were. I don't know because the whole thing.
You don't want to put him in a weird relationship with his stepbrother. Like, what's it called?
Which, mind you,
what's that movie called?
which, mind you, but she mentioned the stepbrother. That's because one of the night guys you met before is actually related to this guy in a way, but they don't tell you that. They don't. The most they hint at is that you see the two of them look at each other with mild disdain, and then they just disappear. They don't do anything with it. I'm kind of like,
they've also got fire and ice.
I get it. You don't have to immediately have... I told you I was going to rant about this, but we're going to mention it just because I feel like at the moment.
You can rant. I'm playing my game.
Well, I hate that I do this every single time we come on a stream because I'm trying to work through something and I'm having this love-hate relationship with Genshin Impact. But I have to just compare it to where I did Star Rail. Every character you get introduced in the first area, I'm actually literally going to do a compare and contrast essay practically of the first areas of both games and why one totally worked for me and why the other one makes me want to hurt someone. Then Star Rail, you don't get introduced to who everyone is at the beginning, but the characters you're introduced to, you learn names and they stick around, even if for not very, very long. They stick around long enough to give an idea of personality. And then the characters stack. You get the characters who are in your team, obviously, because it's a turn-based game, so you have teams. So you get the characters who are in your team, and you figure out how they interact. But then, like, you have to rescue this one guy who's a security guy, right? You have to rescue him. And initially, I didn't think much about him because, I didn't really know who he was. But then, like, in the next area, when you meet a new person, you go and realize that, oh, these two have a relationship. They are friends. But he doesn't just disappear. He's injured, yeah, so he's not going to be doing anything major in the story right now. But he's there standing next to the character he has a relation to. And he still talks to you. He still gives his advice, even if he's not actively part of the quest. And then, like, as you move along, you meet some other people. They never just disappear into the ether for the rest of the quest, which is the thing that frustrates me in the first quest of Genshin, is that you are introduced to this cast of characters that seem interesting, and then they just vanish. When the town is supposedly under siege by a dragon. You think that'd be a reason for all hands on deck. Not just they all vanish. And you're fighting with this one other guy who you don't even know. And you don't even know why he knows the person you know? Yeah. There's so many you knows in that sense. But, and it's just, like, frustrating. And then, again, the fact that the quests are essentially go here, fight a thing, go here, fight a thing, go here, collect an item, run around a little bit until the item changes into a different state, and then collect a thing. And, like... There are moments when it's fine. There's moments where I'm like, okay, cool, we're doing stealth. Now we're learning a little bit more about our winged god friend. But then, the moment they're about to get into something interesting, the cutscene ends. The dialogue stops. Or Paimon starts talking. And the problem is, Paimon is clearly a Navi comedic relief. By the way, Navi, I mean in terms of Legend of Zelda, not Persona. Is a comic relief thing. Because half the time, she's just talking about how she's hungry. Or don't use her as an emergency food source. Or, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't know this totally obvious thing. Let me exposit for you. And so anytime there's a moment of, like, emotional severity, there's emotional weight, there's a moment where, like, everyone, like, the winged god tells you he's the winged god, no one else believes them besides you for whatever reason, don't know why you believe him to begin with, but then again, you have no character, so who really cares? But then, like, the rest of the characters realize he's the winged god. They have a moment of, like, silence when they realize, oh, hey, this person we've been, like, kind of yelling at this whole time is actually the person we revere. And there's a moment of kind of, like, silence for that. And Paimon said something stupid, but it broke the tension in the moment. And then you're like, okay, well, back to running around and fighting people, I guess. Like, every time that there's a moment where you feel like they might have some emotional death. And to be fair, I've not completed the quest yet because I honestly got frustrated trying to find the location. That was the problem. I've gotten lost so much in the first area that I don't think it's bidding good things to come for the rest of this game, where I know the areas get bigger and more complicated. But I got so frustrated trying to find this one area. And granted, the area that it's in is far better, like, world building. Like, when you have an open world, you have to tell a story with the world. The first region kind of sucks at that. It's just a bunch of hills and some trees. The same enemy type everywhere. There's like one notable landmark and then nothing else. So it's kind of like the one area that I go into has like ancient ruins and it has a lot of wind because it's the wind gods area, and I like that. But I got lost. I got frustrated. I just got tired of trying to do it. The daily things in order to get, because that's the other thing. They're also the biggest difference. Star Rail gives away resources all over the place. Like whenever there's a new character, they give you bunches of passes to pull for. You can get like resources from probably about everything. There's a lot of different game modes. There's a lot of different challenge modes. There's a lot of different puzzles. I literally went through a quest that was literally just Ace Attorney, which was the funniest thing ever. And then I'm in Genshin, where it's like, here, beat the same 4 enemy types every day for 20 resources. You need 180 in order to pull a singular time. So how many days do you have to do that? And granted, granted, a friend of mine who plays the game says they did recently do updates in the latest patch to make the daily rewards better. So I don't know. I'll have to go and try. Again, I would like to go back and give the game another try and do it. But the thing is that I came in loving the characters already. I came in ready to enjoy the game, to push through some hard stuff. But I just got so frustrated by how bare bones or just generally annoying the first area is. And the fact that the first characters you get are really not very useful. And I'm playing in Star Rail, and like, I can use the first area characters all the way up until like the third world, and I'm still using them. They're still really, really useful. But I'm in Genshin.
Sorry, that mic doesn't work. Anyways, we're gonna log off because I gotta go do some stuff still for work tomorrow, and Evie needs to go to bed. And I know she can rant on this one for hours. So
Yeah.
we're gonna save this one maybe for a podcast or for next time. We'll get back to
When people like to have a podcast, I would literally devote a podcast just to
I think podcast
learning to love Genshin Impact.
Either way, we will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for hanging. Have a happy Halloween.